Everybody, welcome to Daily Distinction. Hope you're doing great. I am really glad to be with you today, and it is the day we kick off with the Ultimate Business Summit. It is coming up for the VIP folks, our special reception that's going on, and I want to remind you there's still time to register. The VIP reception is at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, and if you haven't registered, you can do that. If you do the general admission, that's going to start tomorrow. But be thrilled to see you there. So there is still time to get in. It's $197 for the Ultimate Business Summit, $497 for the VIP ticket. But if you enter the coupon code Scott, it works until we kick off the event tomorrow morning. You can get in, and that means it's under $100 to attend. The VIP session is only $397. Man, oh man. Yeah, you know what is unbelievable to us? This is just crazy. And by the way, we're going to do a shortened version today because we got to do a tech check and everything else. But hey, Brian, yes, UBS Eve. And holy cow, there is so much going on, Brian. I got to tell you, to make certain it's not one of those deals where you just flip the switch and you're rolling with it. I mean, it is, it's been pretty crazy. I'm looking for something here, and I apologize. I'm looking for something here. I wanted to make certain that I shared with you, and I looked down, and my phone had signed me off. So I've got to find it. But anyway, Charles, we will see you at UBS. I know. Donovan, hey, saw that you're coming, I believe, so look forward to that. Paul from the UK, yes, 11 p.m. UK time, so we are having a virtual cocktail party, so I'm assuming that you're going to beat us to the bourbon a little bit maybe tonight. Hey, Mike, great to see you. How you doing? Brian, I have not seen it yet. I am sorry, I'm not real great about checking private Facebook messages, but I will take a look and see if I can find. Oh, I see. I have not. You can see by the yellow or by the blue thing next to it. I have not read it yet, but I will get on that when we get finished up here today. Scott is in beautiful, hot Florida. Man, it sounds pretty. I mean, it's hot in Vegas right now. Let's see, 101 right now, right outside the house. Yeah, I feel like I'm back in my disc jockey days. 101 today, but anyway, it's a hot one. So thanks, Scott. Great to see you. So anyway, that reminder, you can still be a part of the Ultimate Business Summit right until we kick off. Use the coupon code Scott. Love to see you there. Love to have you there. Going to be great. And as I mentioned, and apologies, we've got a tech check that we're going to be doing soon. So we're not going to do the full 30 minutes with us today. But I saw, and where did it go? Doggone, here we go. There is a speaker, and she's just really terrific. And we've just connected on Facebook, and she posted something that really, really stimulated my thought about it, which was the reason that she posted it. And I'm going to hold it up. I hope you can see it here on the camera, but isn't that a great message? Be mindful of telling people to be fearless. You could be causing harm. And that's from my friend Kelly Ruta. Kelly Sullivan Ruta is how she is, R-U-T-A, on Facebook. And I want to read this to you because I saw this just not long before we went on, and it really struck me. I really think it is phenomenal because whether it is as a business person, as a leader, as a parent, sometimes we say things and it's not, it doesn't come out the way we mean it. Does that make sense? We say it with great intention, but we don't think about the unintended consequences of it. So Kelly writes, I understand that so many coaches, and I think, Kelly, I think the same is true for leaders and for parents and so forth, but she works with and is speaking to coaches. I understand that so many coaches want to empower people by helping them to shift out of fear-based decision-making. That's what we're talking about. Good intentions. I want to try to get you to shift out of fear-based thinking. But for Black and brown people with trauma, that fear is not only real, but listening to it helps facilitate survival in a society that continuously threatens them. So please be mindful of your blanket advice about fear. And I'm going to suggest, she's speaking about minorities that we say don't be afraid of, but maybe they are things that they have rightfully been afraid of in the past. But let's even apply that beyond, a minority situation or whatever. It's so easy to tell people not to be afraid. She writes, quote, "Your good intentions can actually cause people to feel more isolated, less seen and heard, and compounds trauma while also dismissing the very thing that's helped them survive. Fearlessness is not the way," she writes. Discernment is. I thought that was so powerful. And here's the reason why. And I've been guilty of it myself, is talking about the problem of, being afraid to pursue your goals, being afraid to, it could be anything, to get up and give a speech, to whatever. You got to fight your fear. Don't get me wrong. I do believe that sometimes fear is a clue. We only get nervous about those things that matter. I have people ask me all the time, how do I get over my nervousness in speaking? And the answer about public speaking, about a lot of things, is think about why you're nervous. That's the first thing. Why are you nervous? Are you nervous because you're standing up in front of people and that is a new challenge? Well, maybe that's something that you need to be fearless about. You need to overcome your fear. A lot of times, nervousness in speaking comes from a feeling of a lack of preparation. Maybe you needed to prepare better. And the reason that you're nervous is because you're not prepared. Maybe the reason that you're nervous is you're in a situation where you shouldn't be speaking because you don't have expertise on what they ask you to speak about, right? I mean, in those situations, you got a reason to have that nervousness. So overcoming it is not just plowing through it, it's getting better prepared or practicing more on your speech or developing a field of expertise or not saying yes to talking about something you don't know about, right? So there is a great book by an author named Gavin de Becker, and it's called The Gift of Fear. And I read it many years ago, and what this Facebook post I just shared with you got me thinking about it. I need to pull it back out, but I highly recommend it to you. And one of the things that it talks about is that, however you choose to view it, but in the evolution, however you choose to use that word, of human beings, fear was experienced by those who survived, right? I mean, fear is kind of baked in our DNA, because if you were a fearless caveman, the saber-toothed tiger ate you, right? If you were a fearless explorer, the snake bit you and you died, right? There is a reason that this fear has been kind of baked in us, and it's a warning. And so part of what he's saying is, if you're walking down a city street at night and the hair kind of starts standing up on the back of your neck and you're thinking, man, this just feels wrong, and you turn around and walk away, don't consider yourself as a chicken because you didn't overcome your fear and walk down the street. Consider yourself as a human being that listens to all of your senses, even maybe the ones you're not aware of, because the fear is telling you something. So it's not that we should become fearless. It's that we need to listen to the fear and ask ourselves, why are we feeling this way? See what I said about speaking? Oh, I'm afraid of speaking. Well, okay, tell me more about that. Are you afraid of standing in front of people and thinking they're going to be judging you? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fear of it because you don't feel prepared. That's something totally different. Curtis, you got it right. It's kind of baked into us. It's called the fight or flight. And sometimes flight is what keeps us alive, what keeps us going. And so when we just say this blanket statement, be fearless in the world today, what we're saying is ignore something that has made us survive and be successful. I'm not saying we need to pull the blanket over our head and sit in the corner and be afraid of everything. Obviously, that's not the approach. But yet, there are some fears that we need to work on, we need to overcome. There are some fears that are irrational. For example, I talked to somebody who said, well, they'd love to attend the Ultimate Business Summit. This isn't a commercial for UBS. I'm just using this as an example of this. They'd love to come to UBS, but I just don't. I've never attended a virtual program before, and I don't. Almost like they were afraid to go to a virtual program because they'd never done it before. That's a fear that you need to think about. Why are you afraid to try something new? For many of us, the fear of trying something new is based on, remember that one time and we tried it and it didn't work? My mentor, Grady Nutt, used to tell this great story about vegetable soup. And I can't tell the story as wonderfully as he did, but he said, I love my mom, but my mom's vegetable soup was absolutely inedible. It was horrible. He said, I don't know how you screw up vegetable soup. Didn't know anything about vegetable soup. The only vegetable soup I had ever had was the vegetable soup that my mom made. So naturally, I hated vegetable soup. The world of my experience growing up in small town Texas, he said, was when it came to vegetable soup, my totality of experience was the vegetable soup my mom had made. And it was awful. So I start dating this woman named Eleanor, and we're progressing in our relationship, and she invites me over to dinner. And I get to dinner, he says. I said, what are we having for dinner? She said, I made some vegetable soup. And at this point, he thinks, oh no, I hate vegetable soup. But yet I really want to impress her, and I really want her to like me, so I have to act as if I like her vegetable soup. And he even said, I'm literally looking, is there a plant that I could pour a little bit of it in the plant so that she doesn't know that I really can't stand this stuff? And so she puts it down in front of him. And he did this. It was just so cool how he did it. It was like a conversation with his mind and his stomach and himself. And the mind says, what is that? And he says to his brain, it's vegetable soup. That's what she said. The mind says, no, it's not. That's not what vegetable soup looks like. That's not vegetable soup. He tastes it. The stomach goes, hey, what's that? That's really good. He says to his stomach, that's vegetable soup. Stomach says, that's not vegetable soup. We've had vegetable soup. It's horrible. That's not vegetable soup. What is vegetable? What is that you're putting down here? I love it. Send me more. Now, the point of the story, obviously, is that he had based his entire evaluation of vegetable soup on such a small sample size. The vegetable soup his mom had made. It wasn't until he tasted other vegetable soup that he realized the problem is not vegetable soup. It was his mom's recipe. His problem was he based everything on one situation. Are we being fearful of trying something new simply because of the small sample size of the fact that when we tried something new, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to? If that's the case, then what we got to do is try something new and see if it works out in a different manner, right? To see if it works out in a different way. Our goal has to be to understand if flight is the option we choose, why is that the right option? If fight is the option we choose, why is that the right option? It's been said that in the modern day world, our stress is more than it was in ancient times. And, my first reaction to that is, you got to be kidding. I mean, when you think about the things they had to do to survive, but yet to the point that Curtis made earlier about fight or flight, those options were there and the threat was real, right? Now, because so much happens externally and we worry about things so much more, our body can't tell the difference between this vividly imagined thought of difficulty or stress or pressure. In other words, you start thinking about, oh, I don't want to give a speech because I'm worried about it. What if they judge me? And you know how the mind spirals in terms of worry, and it gets worse. And so now we're thinking, oh my gosh, look, you visualize them all laughing at you. The mind doesn't know the difference, or the body doesn't know the difference, I should say. The body doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined thought and something that actually happens. And so as you visualize, oh my gosh, all these people laughing at me, your body tends to react as if that is happening. And that's part of what creates that anxiety. So we have to listen to our fears. Some of them are very well founded. The blanket example is not good. Darcy, great point. Discernment in those situations is important. It requires us to be thoughtful. So I'm certainly not going to sit here and advocate for you being fearless. I would advocate that you confront your fears, that you think about what is worrying you. Sometimes the things that worry us most are the things we need to do, right? I mean, if you're worried about cancer because it runs in your family, that fear might move you to get a checkup that you've been putting off. If you are worried about a heart attack, that fear of having that might move you to get up off the couch and walk around the block. Fear can be extraordinarily productive, and fear that we overcome can be extraordinarily useful in our life. But fear is also a gift. That fear that you had of the heart attack might be the gift that got you off the couch. The fear of having cancer in your family might be the gift that gets you to get the checkup to make sure you stay healthy. Look at it in a more positive way, not as something we have to overcome every single time. Be fearless. You know, I'm seeing so many things on social media of people jumping off cliffs and, walking around at the top of skyscrapers, holding their selfie camera up as they walk around. And it just gets me, because it's encouraging people to be fearless to the point that it's encouraging people to be reckless. Fear is a gift. So analyze what your fears are, analyze why you feel that way, and be discerning about how you respond to it. If you're feeling fear, there is a reason. So explore that reasoning, and it might lead you to an extraordinary discovery. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for us today. As I said, we're doing a tech check here very shortly on what's going on. We've got so many things happening here. See, different cameras that we're using, and there's my iPad, so we can bring up different things as we. There you can see the temperature in Las Vegas, 102. All kinds of different things that's going on there. We're going to show slides on the computer there, and there we go. There's the background view of all the studio. We've got 4 computers running for this, and 4 cameras. It's just absolutely super cool of all the things that we are getting ready for the UBS program coming up. I can't wait. Hey, Scott, I have to miss it, but it sounds like an incredible. Yeah, I hope so. I hope people find it of great value. Sorry that you're going to miss it because of other commitments. We certainly understand, but thank you for saying that. I really, really appreciate that. Hey, Sonia's in the house. Always great to see you, Sonia, on your 4th favorite day of the week. Whatever day it is, always happy to have you here. To everybody, hey, Scott is here. Good to see you. I very seldom get to see Scott live, but I watch a lot of Scott's terrific videos that he posts. If you don't follow him on Facebook, he is a must follow. Brian, I'll get back with you as well. Thank you for that. Thank you for being a part of the Ultimate Business Summit. If you haven't signed up, like we said, you see it here at the bottom. You can register now. The program starts tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific time, and we just can't wait. It's going to be great. Hey, face your fears, be discerning about them, and continue on your pathway to growth. Final reminder for you, there will be no daily distinction on Thursday or Friday because of the Ultimate Business Summit, taking part in that. But I'll be back on Saturday with the Daily Distinction Weekend Edition. Brian has asked a question. Does registration for post-pandemic events end on Friday? I made a mistake on that. It ends Monday night, not Friday night. My bad, my mistake. Post-pandemic event registration closes at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time Monday night. So I'll have more on that for you over the weekend. So thanks for being here. Thanks. I'll see a few of you in 2.5 hours as we kick off with the evening VIP reception at the Ultimate Business Summit. If you're not a part of that, I'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday on our next edition of Daily Distinction. Thanks, everybody. I'm so grateful you'd be here. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being a part of this. Talk to you soon.